What's up? It's your boy, Ridiculous Steve G, here coming at you with another quick and dirty review. So, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Go down the wormhole, rabbit hole, whatever you do to get here. Glad you're here. So, real quick, gonna do a quick and dirty review to complete the set of the adidas Speedfactory AM4 series. Now, I have the AM4LA, that's what kicked it all off for me. Then I moved into the AM4 NYC, which was a slightly better shoe, better fit, better feel, slightly better cushioning. And then we're moving into the AM4 London. Now, I'll give you the on foot. That's the one I'm wearing today. Adidas AM4 London. Now, this shoe was the culmination of maybe a month's worth of testing to see exactly how it worked. If you're not up on Speedfactory, it's basically Adidas robotic factory that increases the time of, the speed. Not so much the time. It reduces the time and increases the speed at which you can get your shoes to you because of the manufacturing process. They don't even really have to start it until you order, because then the robots put your shoe together. They're talking about the ability to then customize, to then have things fit directly to your foot. So it's a concept that's being tested, but right now it's mostly for show. If I can say that, I can say that honestly and candidly. I think it is mostly for show. Now, with the London, this again, very similar design to the New York, but I wanted to test out and see exactly how they were customizing for each city. The cushioning is very similar to New York. The New York does feel a tad bit more stout underfoot. That's because the New York, the NYC, has 20% more boost, let them tell it. This one has a regular amount of boost, whatever that is. The Parley collaboration on the LA is definitely the lightest of all of them, and the upper is the most different. The support system is completely different. I was not a huge fan of the fit and feel of the Parley. The recycled ocean materials are great, but it didn't feel cloth-like. These felt more cloth-like. The design is awesome. It's a beautiful shoe, but most of what I wanted them for was performance, and that is where it was a bit rough. So this shoe, I would say, is very similar to a Pure Boost in that it is mostly just one big block of very soft boost. It has what they call a floating torsion. If you can see that there, maybe it'll focus for you. The floating torsion is really gimmicky to me. It's not really holding the shoe together at all. There's a whole lot of play and twist, and it doesn't have that mid-foot rigidity that your Ultra Boost or even say a Solar Boost has. So I worked out in mine pretty heavily. They're great for jogging, they're great for walking, but for the price you pay, they're a bit of a disappointment because you should get a top-of-the-line shoe. Now, Adidas is known for testing things out. They test new technologies, and I give them ultimate props. They're my favorite brand, which is obvious if you go to my Instagram page for sneakers, Connoisseur, and you'll see that I'm Adidas heavy. I love them. But sometimes that innovation comes with the price tag of the early adoption. Is you're gonna adopt it early, but you might not actually be getting the shoe that you desire if you're really looking to train. And that was this. Good shoe, great fit. The collar issue I was having on the LA, I did not have on the NYC or the London, of it being too tight and pressing against my shin. Not a problem. Lacing system works, it's great, it's supportive, but this shoe, you can see I can spread this shoe out by hand. So this shoe has no rigidity, so I actually had problems in my ankles and in my shin of getting a stinging pain right away because I actually need a little bit more support. And not really like arch support, but more rigidity. Like I shouldn't be able to pull my shoe apart like this. So this shoe is great for a jogger or a walker, and I will put lots of walking miles in this, but when I put them on the track for pure performance, it was absolutely terrible. It flopped around almost like a duck shoe because, again, it's spreading. I don't know if you can see that. I need to show you guys that. It's spreading as I do that, so the toe off isn't happening. It's actually stuck to the ground and it spreads as you push off. That's not good. You can't use that when you're running. So shin was hurting, shin was giving me problems. I immediately went home. I got this just because it was the first Ultra Boost I could find inside the house. It was my laceless, and the rigidity is completely different. The full torsion system, shin pain went away right away. Ankle and calf pain went away right away. You can see I wore those balls. And then, you know, if I'm gonna go with something, the crazy thing is the Solar Boost is something that they give their high-profile top-end athletes. Their athletes aren't running in this stuff because the experimental stuff is not tested, not proven. And the point is, when they're pushing the envelope like that, they actually aren't answering to the exact call of what you need. Like, even things like this, look at that. You shouldn't be able to do that to a shoe that you're supposed to be training in. And when you put your foot down, you need all that energy back. So, again, great for joggers, great for walkers, probably not for me. One more thing, the difference that I noticed, the insoles are actually a bit different. Now, I stole the insole from my New York because it's actually a stiffer insole. And so you can tell that the materials on the bottom, let's look at the heel. Look at the heel of that. You can even see as I'm holding them up, one is floppier. So the ones that were more recently made have better, stiffer insoles. This is the insole from my London pair, which I, through some deduction, found out that mine actually came from Germany. Mine were some of the first pair made. You can tell that the New Yorks were a little bit later because it says assembled in the USA. Mine does not say that, so mine was one of the German pair from the factory over in Germany. Then the American factory is in Atlanta, and those came later in that year. So I did luck out and got a German pair of the Londons, which I dig, just for collector's sake, to be able to say this is a German pair, one of the first batch after the initial launch batch that nobody could get their hands on. That first consumer batch came from Germany, and that's cool because I got that. But yeah, that's the quick and dirty on the AM4 London. I love it. I'm not going to say I don't love it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to rock it. It's going to be a great shoe for me in a walking capacity, in a travel capacity, airports, foreign lands. I'll be putting lots of work in this shoe, but I cannot train in it. And that's a disappointment for me because ever since the very first Energy Boost and on through Ultra Boost, my adidas shoes have always been trainers. Even if they're fashionable, even if they're stylish, they have always been trainers for me. And so I think that's going to go out the window with this particular pair. But all good. Speedfactory, London, AM4 London. There it is. So, peace. Thanks for rocking with me. Until the next time.